Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Before we start, just want to say that I've reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Bit over it now, just a bit, but thank you to everyone who subscribed, all the people who are not subscribed and watch, and it's almost half and half, I think. But yeah, thanks to everyone who watches and leaves nice comments, sends me comments, joins lobbies to say they like my videos or leave me a message on FAF. Their support is very much appreciated. And so we have a game sent by Patrick. Thanks to him for sending me this. And it's interesting one. So we're on Seton's clutch, of course, the holiest place, as TA would say, in all of RTS. The iconic map of Supreme Commander. Now we have some classic players. Foley on beach, and he's got Aeon. We have Miser, who's playing air. We have Oren on rock. And we have Strogo, of course, he's already left the base on his mission to get the mass in middle. Strogo in mid with UEF. He's up against Lady Burncastle. The Cybran, Purple Jin, and the red UEF. Powerful Yudi in the pink. Seraphim air, and Clark in the UEF purple on the rock. So we can see there's 3 2K players here in this game, and that presents a problem for the optimal balance. So of course you're going to have 2 on one team, 1 on the other. And then the rest we have 3 1300s, a 1400, and we have a 1600. So UD the lone 2K on this team, but he gets Clark on his rock. So that's probably the best UD could have hoped for, was him getting air and getting the 1600 on rock. Of course the rock has more mexes than the beach. So on the top ocean, it's Oren versus Purple Jin. Pretty even rating, but of course the rock has the advantage in mid. Now we have a big disadvantage for the top team. Lady Burncastle up against Strogo, and that's going to be difficult. First, I think the matchup favors UEF in middle, and also Strogo is just a very strong player. Lady Burncastle only on 1400 rating, so can't expect her to overcome Strogo really. And we have Foley is versus Clark here. Big rating gap, but the air game is very firmly in UD's favor. Poor Miser has a very difficult matchup here for him. So how will these players deal with the setup? Very quick transport from Clark. You see 3 minutes and he's landing on the rock positions. That was a very quick transport, and he doesn't go for the hydro. Keeps his build power nearby, uses his build power to reclaim trees and also build pigeons, and that allows him to get the transport a lot faster than if he tries to expand and go for the hydro quickly and things like that. And so he completely beats the air from Foley. So good start from Clark. I mean, his score is quite bad as a result of that, because he had to invest in inefficient pigeons and things, and probably could improve his build a bit, but that worked quite well for him. But now Foley didn't catch the transport, so he's gonna do something else with his air, and he's making a bomber in middle. Purple Jin is actually has a bomber aiming at Strogo, and that's good. Very good for for Lady Barncastle. It's gonna make her life a bit easier. So, good decision by Purple Jin there, has to be said. And another engineer goes down. This is quite nasty so far. Four kills. Oh, it almost got. It was very close to dropping another bomb here. Maybe killing 2 more engineers, but they're saved by this Inti. And the bombers are not going for middle. Foley does not see the point in helping Strogo overcome Lady Barncastle. He's going for the real threat, which is Yudi. The bomber's heading straight for the airbase, and Foley's also using scouts to break trees. He has the Aeon scouts. Of course, they're hover. Extremely difficult to stop an Aeon player from breaking your trees. And here comes the bomber. There's no... Oh, there is a scout ahead of him. And there's many engineers. Oh, UD starts building an anti-air now, assisting with all the build power he has nearby. And the bomber drops, kills 4 engineers. Will it escape the range? No. Denied. There goes the bomber. And actually we do have a bomber in middle as well at the same time. 4 engineers go down in a single pass, and 2 more go down here. And another. Oh, that's a nasty bomber. No anti-air here at all. Here's one now. And we have an Inti from Clark. Catches the bomber as well. In middle, Lady Barncastle already forced into the water by Strogo. Strogo with many more units. And Foley actually just 1 air versus 2 players. I have to imagine that was just far superior air micro. He didn't really have that much more, I don't think. He certainly had, he may have had a few more, and actually no. Clark's air was AFK, and now his air micro is going to cost him, I think. May lose air. And look at this. Foley still has, what, 5 inties. And he has now conclusively 1 air versus both of the North Navy players. So if you're unfamiliar with Setons, generally the meta is that the Navy players make T1 air. The air player makes no T1 air and simply rushes T3 air quite quickly. We won't say as fast as possible because of course you can change the amount of economy you make before you get to T3 air, but generally, you know, in around 10 minutes you gotta be making ASF, you gotta have your T3 PGen done. And the Navy players make T1 air to protect the mid player, themselves, and the air player from drops and bombers, and also for scouting and things. Mid player generally doesn't make air, but you can make air. You can make some bombers, especially if your opponent is an Aeon player. Definitely a good. It can be a very good idea to invest in some air. And of course you can make drops. You can make your own drops as mid, or go for some T2 drops. Here's a drop from Clark. Tanks, an arty, and an anti-air. Is there a scout on board there as well? Might be a scout in there. So not a bad drop. There's no upgrading mexes here in this position, but it still could be nasty. We don't have any navy from the north side. Well, we have a couple of factories now from Purple Gin, few factories from Orand along the island. Very few mexes for Orand so far, by the looks of things. And this factory is actually likely to go down. The lab comes out, starts attacking the unit that Oh well, actually, killing the anti-air would be nice because you want to be able to use a bomber against this this force. And here comes a bomber, and the anti-air is going to be dead, or at least the bomber is so low, or the anti-air is so low now that it could be bombed. And actually, it dies to the lab that comes out, so the factory goes down, but the bomber now has nothing to stop it. Clark's air is nowhere to be seen. He should have his air over this drop really to protect it from bombers. So now it will die. Unfortunately for him. Actually looks like Foley lost all of his air. So I don't see any inties for him around. Take a look at Yudi now. You can see the setup on his base. He's going to T3 air. He has 81 mass income. Full T2 mechs, some storages. Oh, he's rushing a T3 mechs actually. That's nice. So that's how he's going to try and abuse his position versus a much lower rated player. He's going to invest in eco very early and still have and still be completely fine basically in terms of T3 air. You can see Miser only getting to T3 air now. And Yudi, while making a T3 mechs, is starting his T3 pigeon before Miser. And that's pretty impressive. But he's now stalling mass. I don't know why he's building these T1 pigeons now. That's kind of weird. But he is, probably shouldn't, since he's making this. And maybe reclaiming these factories for some mass would be fine. Strogo in middle has T2 and the gun. Lady Barncastle only has T2 on the commander, and this is not going to work. Building T2 PDs in range of a gun commander, not advisable. And she can't get rid of all these units either, so building T1 PD, you can see the PDs are just dying to arties as well as the commander. This powerful commander, 17,000 HP, near enough, and more units as well for Strogo. It looks quite nasty, and there's even bombers coming in, which is just, that's just salt in the wound really. No need for that for Foley. This would be a nicer place for bombers, perhaps. A lot of build power here. It's very vulnerable to getting bombed. And, ooh, Lady Barncastle does not have any T2, which is problematic. Beetles might be potential cheesy counter. So here we go. Miser has his T3R, T3 P-Gen. We can look at the economy. Already, Yudi has 8,000 more total mass than Miser. Oh, I'm on Strogo. Here we go. Full T2 mechs. But not too many storages. Take a look at Yudi. T3 mechs. It's going to be a full storage in a couple of minutes. He's still making T1 Pigeons. Bit strange. Not sure I understand the reasoning. But then I'm not as good as Yudi, so we won't question. In the north. Oh, this is the south. Oh, that's a drop. Where's that headed? It's an engineer drop. And this... Was there more drops here? Oh, it looks like we had an arty drop here. And some mexes went down. Now they were T1, but they may have been upgrading considering this one is upgraded. So sad that we missed that. And now Yudi, already ahead on economy, is also ahead on air. And he's invested in a strap bomber. Oh! Oh no! Oh my god, that mechs was so close to being T3. That is just brutal for Strogo. His first T3 mechs. Was that 99? Was it actually 99%? I mean, if it wasn't 99, it was 98 or... Holy shit. So that is just a disgusting kill for that strap bomber. Very sad state of affairs for poor Strogo. Very nice bomb from Yudi, and more T2 mechs is going down. But here come the ASF, and Yudi actually misses a couple of them and now tries to hover the strap bomber to let the ASF fly past, and that can be a very powerful bit of micro, but in this case there was 2 ASF and the strap bomber has already lost HP, and so it goes down. But I think it paid for itself. Now he could have, you can say it paid for itself, but he could have protected it, I guess. Slight miss micro, and Miser got in and did his job. That is the job you have. You're behind on air and your opponent is making offensive air units. The goal is to invest as little ASF as possible in killing the offensive unit, so you need to try and snipe a strap bomber with, not with all of your ASF, but with a couple. Now in that case it was probably all of his ASF was those 2, so you gotta go for it. But if it's a case where, you know, you have like 20 ASF, you don't send 20 ASF and kill a strap bomber and lose all of your air. That is not a good trade. So good snipe there from Miser, but also pretty good strap from Yudi. Ugh, that T3 mechs. That never was. Strogo sends some units to Foley. Sends some UEF engineers. Perhaps Foley's looking for... Well, I didn't see Foley ask for a UEF engineer, but I guess he would want them for Navy. Although we do frown upon naval mixing here on this channel. It's not very... Well, it sort of defeats the purpose of going random faction, random place if you then take another faction's engineers and use them. So Strogo's on the front line building a fire base. Lady Barncastle building her own fire base. TMD is planned. Strogo is afraid of the MMLs, but there's still no T2 for Lady Barncastle. That's going to be a problem for her. Can't fight a fire base with T1 really. Not solely T1. And we have another strap bomber now. I don't know what it dropped on. Something in middle, and now it's coming for Foley this time, not for Strogo. He'll be relieved at that. But look at all these frigates from Clark. He's moving in, and we're going to speed it up a bit. And it looks like he can kill all of the naval production. And oh, I don't think Yudi knew that this SAM was here. Foley with T3 on his commander throws up a SAM, and now Yudi taking an air fight, and Miser without the best air micro still, well, he comes out on top because of this SAM. Look at the veterancy, and that's an XD from Foley after seeing the air fight over his SAM launcher. 2 vets on that SAM, and there's also 9 kills on the there's SAM over here as well. So yeah, Foley quite protected now from strap bombers. Clark says maybe think to make unit and not eco sometimes. Well, don't gloat too soon, Clark. It's not a good look if it turns back on you. T2PD is coming up, doing some damage to the frigates. There's also a couple subs here, and nothing to kill them at the moment. Clark does not have T2 air. Clark has 1 T2 mech, T3 mechs. and quite a few unstorage mexes, so he's invested a lot early on to make this attack, and now he's sending all of his frigs in. Torpedoes are under attack, but the T2PD is killing all of the frigates now. and we still have these couple of subs also contributing their damage. Strogo now moving in to try and make navy as well, and all those frigs that killed the naval production are dead. Oh, look at this. This is basically 1k damage on each of these T2PD. And how quickly the gloating has turned back on him. But still in a good position. Now we have T2 Navy coming in. There's a lot more frigs coming in despite... Oh, and the Cooper also takes care of the subs. Is now under attack from the T2 torpedo launchers. See the power of a T3 commander. So much build power can really throw up a lot of defenses quickly and repel a lot of T1 attacks especially, and also T2 with some naval support. And looks like Strogo, there's no commander here to build defenses and defend, so he is not going to get into navy right now. I have a destroyer. Immediately many factories here pumping out T1 engineers for build power, and he's going straight to T2 Navy. Needs to get out destroyers, and he's going to make a lot more torpedo launchers, and perhaps also T2 Air. Although T2 Air, well, I guess it's going to be difficult to justify T2 Air with the UD as the other air player versus Miser. Miser with 3 T2 T3 P-gens. Does not have RAS. 3 T3 P-gens for UD. And no RAS, but his economy is far superior. Look at this. 8 T... Oh no, that's T2. 5 T3 mexes. That's quite a few. Miser has... Let's see how many Miser has. He has 3. Not bad. 27 ASF and 24. So even ASF numbers, but a lot of torp bombers for UD. And at the front, Strogo has decided to move to a T3 commander for those Ravagers. And this firebase is doomed now at this point. It's all in range of Ravagers. There's no T3 land for T3 artillery. And are we already at +0? Oh well. Oh, a lot of frigates and destroyers in range of torpedoes. 1700 damage, 1500 damage. And that's another dead destroyer. And this looks quite nasty actually. Oh, are these... The torpedoes are coming. The torpedo bombers coming for the commander, potentially. He is the thing holding this whole place together. Oh, he's dead. There's no way he escapes. There is no way. 750 damage for every drop from those torpedo bombers, and he's gone. And there won't be any more torpedo launchers built. However, Clark has already lost basically all of his frigates. Look at all these dead frigates. They basically all have died to T1 torpedoes, and the T2 ones have 2,500 mass killed on each of them, which is about 10 frigates each. That's pretty brutal. Need to use the cruisers to take these things out. Do not waste your navy. Do not get in range. At the front, it still lives somewhat, but not much time has passed. So It will live slightly longer, but it does not look good for Lady Burncastle. On the top ocean, nothing really happening, although now we have some cruisers trying to help middle out, which is good from Purple Gin. But there is quite a lot of TMD here already. Strogo showing his love for the Ravengers, as they're commonly called. For whatever reason. It's funny, there's always some incorrect name that's always used. Oh, the Ravagers returned on the commander instead of the base, and Lady Burncastle quickly dies. God, there's so many Ravagers. Yeah, the Ravengers thing is a bit like the reclaim. Instead of reclaim, people will type reclaim for whatever reason. Just probably a mistake in the beginning, and then you just never correct it. A lot of damage done by these T2BDs, but they will go down now. It seems the backup plan is Aurora, HAL strats, but supplemented by T2 artillery. Aeon T2 artillery is very nice, quite accurate. Aeon and Seraphim have quite accurate T2 arty. T2 arty also has quite a variable cost between factions, so the Aeon have an expensive T2 arty, 2000 mass just over. Cybern, by contrast, I think is around 1600, 1700 mass. And Clark is at T3. That's a battleship. And we have many cruisers coming out for him. Still on storage mexes here on the island. That's not good for him. And we have a big land attack. Strogo trying to take advantage of the reaction UD needs to make, and he sends in his T1 land. It's mostly arties and anti-air, but he is pushed back, he is stopped, and now we can see UD's plan here is T2 artillery in middle that does outrange the Ravagers. So it is a sensible option. I don't really see another option. I mean, it's going to take a lot longer to make T3 land and get T3 artillery out, mobile artillery, and those mobile artillery going to be more vulnerable, I guess, than the further back T2 stationary artillery, which is going to be under shields. Middle is completely unmolested. Even T3 mechs being built here, completed, that the cruisers are not doing the damage they could. I mean, this is completely undefended. This could be killed. You could turn the cruisers on these TMDs and then kill the T3 mechs quite quickly. There's a decent amount of TMD here, but no shields. So again, potentially vulnerable. 3 TMD here would not be sufficient with most of the cruisers firing at it. And again, no shields. So there's a lot of potential damage to be done, and the first battleship comes out, and Yudi is always chasing down Miser's air. Miser saves some of it. I think he did get some damage in, killing some torpedoes, and there's a lot of torpedo bombers here. That's a rogue shield boat that only wants for death, and it is given. Sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Quite a sad thing. Foley telling Strogo to retarget his TMLs and telling him that he probably has to retreat. Now with Foley dead, there is one 2,000 player on each team, so that imbalance has been rectified. And really, if either 2K player dies, you have to favor the opposite team. For example, if UD was to die, this game would surely be over for the top team. If Strogo was to die, for the bottom team, then you have Miser and Orand having to control 2 bases each potentially. That's going to be extremely bad. So Strogo needs to keep himself alive, and he does decide to retreat and leave. And maybe UD should go for a snipe here rather than torping the North Navy, although Orand has retreated so far back now. He's been pushed all the way back. But let's take a look at Purple Gin's Navy right now. Well, we have 5 destroyers, some frigates, and ooh, all of the frigates are in range of the destroyers. This is the opposite of what you want. Look at this concave. And the destroyer goes down. Oh, does not look good. Actually, all that torping, and Orand has... Well, he only has 2 destroyers, but he has quite a lot of frigates, and the destroyers are going down, and there's not that many frigates for Purple Gin, and there's even a couple of torpedo bombers from Miser helping out, and I think he's completely fine, really. Foley making his pings. He's no longer the beach player, he is the general now, going to try and guide his troops. Full navy. Why no AA? Well, he has some AA. Got about 6 cruisers. Flak doesn't die to torps. This means upgrade to a T2 factory and start making hover flak instead of investing in cruisers, and I think that's a very good idea, because as he said, flak does not die to torps, and so UD will not be able to get rid of that anti-air once it's built. It will be down to Purple Gin to kill those flaks, and I don't think UD wants to rely on Purple Gin. Miser, push your nuke at all costs. Oh, Miser has constructed a nuke. It might be successful. If we look at UD, there is no anti-nuke. And we're at 26 minutes. Now generally you would have an anti-nuke at this point. Or at least have one in construction, so maybe UD is confident in his scouting. Maybe he doesn't believe the other players will go for a nuke. Certainly Strogo is not going to be going for a nuke anyway. Strogo is so exposed here. I'm just imagining if just a couple T3 gunships came in, he would be dead, and I think at that point the game would be over if he was to die, but it doesn't look like UD's going for him. Let's see Miser. Miser's nuke. He is not stalling. Bring all T1 NGs to nuke. He appears to not be listening too closely to Foley. Also has an anti-nuke loaded. The Navy on the bottom side though, what is going on here? Aurora are winning. Just Aurora spam. Oh, we have some accidental labs mixed in here, unfortunately. but somehow middle is completely alive. Completely alive. This front base is under attack from a battleship. It will eventually die, but Strogo is just reclaiming it all. So And also we have, oh, those T2 arties have been moved a bit further forward. That is so much T2 arty. Holy let's see how much mass is in these. 27,000 mass in T2 stationary arty. Might be worth control K'ing those and getting that mass back. Ras now and A-Ras coming up for Yudi. He has full T3 mechs. Yes, he does. He has a lot of torps in the north and he's making gunships in the south. He now has to make gunships to counter the Aurora from Strogo. Not what he wants to be doing. That's a dead mechs. Probably got TML'd actually. And oh, that got TML'd as well. So some damage done in the main base of Clark as well. That's nasty. And many T2 mexes and many unstoraged T2 mexes. So Clark struggling here to overcome the hover spam. I think Strogo just control K'd all of those labs that he had accidentally built, leaving a bit of mass. And of course it's not just Aurora, there's also those miasmas, but they haven't done that much because mostly there's just been frigates, so they're liable to miss frigates, of course. Smaller target than higher tech navy. But this should not happen. And on the top side, 4 destroyers and nothing else really. That is not going to cut it. That is not going to cut it. We have T2 subs, very good choice, versus UEF destroyers, which have very slow rate of fire on their torpedoes. And not very good torpedo defense either. Have to be supplemented with shield boats and Coopers, which are amazing anti-torpedo boats. And Yudi begins the ass washer. Here we go. Now this would be a good time to recycle these T2RT. Oh, look at that. He has actually recycled most of them. Of course. We expect nothing less. And all of this torping the topside has been... well, it's not been very useful. There goes the T3 Navy, and the ocean goes dark. Yudi can't even target anything anymore. On the bottom side, look at this. He's pushed back. There's a T2 Naval HQ now. Unfortunately, the TMD is behind the HQ. It's not going to protect too well versus all of these destroyers, and actually, or against the cruisers. And actually presents a target for them. One Mex has died here. One Mex. This Mex lives. This Mex unperturbed. The main base, nothing happening there. Nothing killed here or here. And the T2 HQ goes down. Finally something is killed. Some of the cruisers have done decent damage. This one, 8.8 thousand mass worth of damage. That's what we need, but most of them have not done very much. And now actually Yudi taking matters into his own hands. The cruisers won't get it done. He's going to send the gunships in and quickly take out T3 mechs, most likely. It's also taking out engineers, which are going to build defenses first. And he has the Vultus, the most powerful of the T2 gunships. Goodbye T3 mechs. Yudi has to do it all, playing all positions, winning air, and his ass washer is almost halfway completed. Such is the life of a 2200 rated player in a game like this. If you don't win everything, if you don't do everything, nobody else is going to do it for you. Miser actually still does not have full T3 mechs, which is not good for him. His Nuke, he's not stalling, but seems like it took a little bit longer than it should have, so he probably stalled a bit of mass at times, which slows nukes down extremely. Slows them down very much. But UD does not have an anti-nuke. He does not have an anti-nuke, and of course there's no hope of him rushing one now. The nuke is almost complete, so UD may lose his base to Miser's nuke. And I can only think that UD has forgotten to build an SMD, that's all I can imagine. And this could get interesting. Oh, all the gunships flying over some flak, taking a lot of damage. You can see they melt the flak, but not before some shots go off, and a lot of these are low on HP now. And the Aurora now coming for the... Oh my god, there's 3 battleships here. 3 battleships. Oh, he's making more battleships. Okay, so your versus hover. Do not use battleships. Public service announcement: make Neptunes melt hover. Frigates are anti-hover as well. And UD, here's the nuke is launched. Let's see, he doesn't know it's here. No, he doesn't. No idea. And he knows that it's coming for his base, and so he evacuates. Now at least he has ARAS, he has a PGen over here, but actually he only has 1 PGen outside of his main base, so he's gonna lose a lot of his power. And he doesn't have T3 engineering in middle, so he can't start a PGen there. He's upgrading this factory, but it's only a support factory, not an HQ. Unfortunately, I think he meant to make an HQ there. And the top side, I mean, Oran is still fine. I mean, how does... Lady Barncastle has 21,000 mass in the bank. This is a common problem of a lot of people simply do not spend their mass. Spending your mass should be the number 1 goal for improving, is actually using your resources. Honestly, in the late game, that's the thing. You need more build power. So you have... Are these factories idle for some reason, or... No, they're not. But yeah, just more factories. A lot more factories, and more upgraded factories. Never mind all of that, though, because the ass washer is here. We are going to counter the hover spam. There goes UD's base. As it goes down, the Asswatcher drops its first bomb. 12,000 mass killed. This factory almost dead. 11,000 damage per bomb. And there's some ASF coming out of the factories. The majority of the ASF from Miser are over here. But there's ASF coming in behind the Asswasher, and they do so much damage so quickly. And now also SAMs. The air grid is doomed. Almost all the power is gone. UD arrives with his ASF, turns... Oh, he turns back to chase down the majority of the ASF, but look, there's some right here. How many are in there? How many are in this tiny group? There's actually... What is that, 6? There's actually 6 ASF right there doing damage, and they take out the Asswasher. And Yudi is not happy. He is not happy with that at all. And Miser is certainly going to lose all of his air now. But his SAMs will do some damage, thin out the ASF. But Oh, he's going straight for another ass washer. That is interesting. And Yudi now has to leave. There's so many SAMs here. He's going to lose way too many ASF that he cannot replace in the minute. Yudi now has T3 land. And he actually has a lot of T2 land moving forward here. The front of the mid base has finally been damaged. And now we have battleships. Purple Jin says, fuck you for some reason. A bit of salt. Bit of salt, you know. Purple Jin actually seems like... Wait a second. Purple Jin has RAS, but Purple Jin does not have any... Oh, we have T2 P-Gens here. A couple of T2 P-Gens. But we don't have any T3 P-Gens. That's a problem. And it looks like Orand may potentially... Well, he's doing a lot of damage. He's putting a lot of pressure on, but there is a battle cruiser here which should be able to defend, and there's a lot of torpedo bombers as well. So I think Purple Jin will be saved. But needs more power for sure. Was relying on overflow from Yudi, I think. A bit of overflow. Still, we have... Oh, a battle cruiser has died to... Well, it must be dying to the miasma now. The battleships are... What are they targeting? How many T2RGs do we have? That's quite a few. Quite a few arties, and they're going to take out the battle cruisers. And there's still so much hover, and he just can't... He just can't beat the hover and the arties with the UEF Navy. That's kind of sad from Clark. He can't do it. There is a lot of TMD now in middle, protected by shields. What are the... Oh, well, the cruisers are now targeting... Looks like they can do some damage here. Oh, another BC is going to go down. 90 HP on it. And you're dead. Good night. And there's just battleships. And some frigates. But most of it is battleships. Doesn't look too pretty. But the T2 land is... Killed the front of the middle base. Orand has been stopped and dumped a huge amount of mass here now on Lady Barncastle. Oh no, Purple Jin's side of the map. You need to make power, and you need to make build power. Just make you can just build T2 support factories with the ACU here. For example, upgrade these factories. Oh, there's 4 bulwarks trapped in the factory. Need to upgrade some. Bulwarks are quite liable to get caught. You can see there's an engineer here. That is probably the root cause of this problem. And now, yeah, it's been spotted, I think. But that's not nice. So we need T3 support factories. UD is feeling a bit salty now after being nuked and losing the ass washer. He externalizes his pain. Clark now making an anti-nuke. Still quite a lot of T2 mexes here for Clark, it seems. Still on storage mexes on the island. Damn. And despite all this, UD continues with air domination. Another nuke from Miser. Where is he going to aim it? Now there is a nuke SMD here. It's not loaded though. It's also completely undefended. There's no shields. Orand is still on T2 Navy. He... See, when your opponent is on T3 Navy, you need to then react and move to T3 Navy, but Orand... Well, unless you believe you're going to crush it, but even so, you probably need to move to T3 Navy. If you desperately need the mass to get a couple more units out so that you can ensure the win, it's kind of all in then at that point, but it's an option. But generally, you need to just go T3 Navy. Similarly with, you know, T2 land, T3 land, you see your opponent is on it, and you kind of need to gain access to that weaponry to defend and counter them. But Orange still on T2 Navy, and this factory is just idle. Let's take a look at his economy. 22,000 mass in the bank. Full T3 eco. RAS SCU is coming up. Maybe time to go T3 Navy. Just a thought. Well, here we have a nuke coming for Lady... Oh, no, it's not. I keep calling her that. It's Purple Jin. I think Purple Jin is a woman. Could be wrong. Maybe some dude decided to make his name Purple Jin. Seems slightly unlikely. This nuke is going to kill whatever build power he or she has. Oh, he didn't kill the HQ. No. Oh, you're kidding. He killed the ship that just came out of it, but didn't kill the HQ. And we only have destroyers versus the... Oh! The Asswasher's back. Part 2, Revenge of the Asswasher. Leave no ass unwashed. The island is crushed. Mostly. The build power is idle, and so he passes over it. Where is he aiming now? A couple more T3 mechs is gonna go down. Ground fire's in between them to kill them both. Good night. And actually Orand is making T3 air, so he has some ASFs to contribute to the cause and try and take out this Asswasher. And now Miser's ASF are coming in. Miser has a lot of anti-air now, a lot of SAMs, and oh, his ASF Yudi missed a turn here. He's allowing a lot of damage to come in on the Asswasher. He's gonna lose it. No. No. Oh, no, Yudi's lost it, surely. Oh, he stops the ASF go past. Maybe he can save it. He needs to get a vet level quickly. He has taken out the ASF now. Turns away from the SAMs. 5,000 HP on this. And he's very close to a vet. Drop. Before the SAMs get you, man. Drop. Oh no. No, 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 no. Please. Fuck. Oh, well, he would have died to this anti-air anyway, but that is still sad. And this, in this case, it does not fall off map, and so Strogo has access to a lot of mass now. And that second Asswasher was not worth it at all. The first Asswasher arguable because it dropped off map leaving no mass and killed, well, it killed some stuff here that ultimately wasn't relevant, but killed most of the air production here and power and dropped off map leaving no mass, so that was potentially worth it. This one, however, killed some T3 mexes and well, it killed like, what, 8 T3 mexes? And then left 38,500 mass for Strogo to pick up, so... The plot thickens. Yudi's SMD is loaded. You can see the range here. So, pretty well protected. So HQ is here. Very spread out pigeons. And the North Navy still back and forth, back and forth. Both players suiciding their navy into each other at various points, and Yudi inevitably saving the day for Purple Djinn, getting a lot of kills, killing so much navy with torpedo bombers and now gunships, forcing Orn to make so much anti-air. But still, Orn has never made those flaks that Foley was talking about. Lady Barncastle to Clark, why not some Destros? I mean, they should be nice versus hover shit. It's like Foley somehow manages to lead a team of brain dead. Oh, I love it. Incredible skills. Well, Clark has just been running into a wall at high speed over and over and over again, and the wall is still there. The wall has not really moved very much. Maybe there's a couple dents in the wall. There's a few marks that you could see if you look closely. Overall though, we just have a lot of shit dumped in front of the wall, dead on the bottom of the ocean. Look at all these dead Aurora. There's so many Aurora. And still, the T3 Navy that's sent in gets killed. That's a dead battleship. I just want to point out that Summit's outranged T2 Arty. Battlecruisers do not, but battleships do. So there's no possible excuse for losing a battleship to Aurora or T2 artillery. The cruisers, I don't know. I mean, I guess the cruisers are just not being microed in any way. I mean, they are against Aeon TMD. It's very, very good, but this is just immovable objects here. No progress. Is that another dead battlecruiser? Fucking holy shit. What are we witnessing? On the top side, Purple Djinn is alive. Still alive. It's been nuked. The nuke missed the HQ, but still alive. Still gigantic amounts of mass here. Look at this. 60k mass. 70k mass on the screen now. Just in this small part. Basically have 50k right here. Just Yudi should be taking this mass, actually. Honestly, he would be able to use it. Purple Djinn has full storage, overflowing, 30,000 mass in the bank. Yudi says push. We have 4 battlecruisers, that's good. 4 battlecruisers, 8 bulwarks. Now, one thing that people always underestimate, who are not very strong players, they underestimate the frigate, and you need a lot of frigates is a very valuable thing later on in the Navy, and Purple Djinn has none. I think literally none, not just hyperbole none, no frigates, but literally 0 frigates. That's not advisable. You want a lot of frigates on Seton's clutch. The Navy, it's a very important part of the Navy. The battle cruisers are just asking for death on a repeated basis. We're at -3 now, unfortunately. It's quite sad. I'm gonna blame the Aurora for that. Or -2, -3. Oh, Miser still has T3 economy at 40 minutes, T2 economy at 40 minutes. And we have another nuke launching. Maybe it's going for middle. That would be a sensible position. There's a Soul Ripper being built, and there's an SMD loading, but is not going to load. And he instead is going to control K it and reclaim it for mass. Good decision. Foley telling Orand to stop ecoing. Oh, look at that for adjacency. That is something special. Foley saying it's minute 40 and you made your first battleship with full eco. Good point. Very valid point. That's a much better place nuke. Oh, he didn't kill the solar, but it's barely completed anyway, so not really important. But he did kill the T3 air HQ, land HQ, and the T3 mechs is here, and there's probably some T2 pigeons there and stuff. Or only now replacing his mexes on the island. Still replacing his mexes here. He spotted the interesting adjacency he achieved on that mex and is going to correct it. On this island we have on storage T3 mechs. Oh, and four mexes. 4 mexes upgrading at once to T3 with no assistance. Not good. Not good. Here's another upgrading mechs. This one is not upgrading. Might as well upgrade them all. Just go all in. Upgrade all of them at once. I mean, if you have a full mass bar, then yeah, sure, go ahead. Oh no! Is this battleship gonna die to T2RD? It's so close. Look at the range on this thing, and it's like right up in the face of all of these grey dots, which are probably RT. Well, a lot of them are shields actually. You can see Strogo has all of his shit very nicely spaced out. It's very good to have the RT like this spaced out, where it's not gonna you're not gonna lose multiple to say cruisers getting in or battleships. And same over here, very spaced out stuff and defensive RTs, and he's just kept almost all of his stuff alive. Almost all of it. 6 of his, say, 10 mid-mexes are alive. Almost all of his beach economy is alive, except for this mex, which he could probably replace. We have a lot of pings from Foley as he tries to corral Orand into microing using his battleship. It's just idle, completely idle, and he is spamming the shit out of those pings. So much so that I couldn't actually see the battleship. Maybe that's the problem. Orand literally could not see his navy thanks to the number of pings, and so ultimately it's Foley's fault, I think, in the end. I think we can all agree. And now we do have T2 hover as well. It's not solely Aurora, although it is 300 Aurora. We also have a few Riptides. They're going to add their weight. Have a lot of production. Does Strogo believe that he can get back into this naval game? Does he believe truly? Middle nuked, air nuked and rebuilt. Naval production almost nuked, but a bit of a miss. Miser, although his opponent has been trying to win the game all on his own, the nuke has done a lot of damage. 75,000 worth the mass killed. And Strogo has held like a champ. I think we can lay some of the blame on Clark though. Still no reaction to the island. Can somebody tell him STFU and battle cruisers, if you can't let them survive, give them to me. See, that is the attitude that is lacking on FAF in many players. You know, there's some players who have gotten reasonably good, but they tend to certain players tend to give up, sort of believe they're going to lose before the game begins, or you know, if you want to be really good, you have to win the game by yourself. You have to believe that you're the best player and you're just gonna dominate. Do what it takes to win, and Yudi is definitely one of those players who will win the game on his own. He's not content to just say, oh well, the classic line of, I won my lane. It's not about winning your lane, you gotta win the game. But it looks like Clark is not going to give his BCs, probably because he actually does not have any. He lost so many. Look at all, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, there's at least 6 there, maybe more, maybe 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a dead battleship. I mean, holy shit. And now he's being pushed back. And he has some frigates. Has some build power at the front, which is nice, but there's so much. How much mass is here, in fact? Well, 76,000. Hey Foley, you give brain to Oren / Miser. What is happening? I tried hard, yes. Yes, to be honest, Foley has been... Can see the pings. You have less for now again. Retreat. Start doing something. Still no T2 flak. Yes, here comes the T2 flak. It's a maybe 20 minutes after Foley first called for it. I think he was not explicit enough. He said T2 flak does not die to air or something along those lines. And that's not really a call to action. It's more of a statement. More of a statement, really. So I guess Oren just read it and thought, well, that's a interesting thought. Didn't really connect it to what was happening in the game. Oh, the Ripper, which is being built, is now losing HP to some ASF. Again, nice from Miser to send in a few ASF after that, because this damage is valuable. It's considerable, and it's basically free, and that's a nice move. And there's no anti-air here to stop this from happening. There's a load of ASF, but UD, the problem with having to try win every spot at all times is you're gonna miss some things, and he is losing a lot of HP on his Ripper, sadly for him. It's not easy even to just simply spot just a few ASF doing all of this damage. I mean, these things... Just ouch. Once this Ripper is built, we'll see how much HP it actually has on it. And North still 0 Navy after 300 torps. We can see probably Purple Gin has still a full mass bar. Yes, full mass bar at all times. And still all of this mass. Look at this, there's still over 50,000 mass here. And oh my god, the hover completely pushes back. It's gonna kill the forward production. There's a lot of engineers now coming out of these factories as well, instead of Aurora, to gather all of this mass. Strogo has 144,000 mass reclaimed. More pings for Oren to digest, and his screen is rapidly filling to the point where he will have difficulty seeing his own units. We're probably already at that point. Look, oh, 500 Aurora. There's even some pillars here for whatever reason. 500 Aurora, 37 Riptides, and the cruisers and battleships are pushed back. Cruisers and battleships, of course, just not anti-hover units in any way, shape, or form, especially the summit. And fucking hell. I think he should stop making so many Aurora though and just make Blazes, or instead really just try and get a lot of production, try and get naval production going. If he can get some navy up, there's potential for some navy maybe. But I guess the main thing would be to just take all this mass and do not leave this mass for Clark to take at a later date, because even though he's pushing back now, I mean, can he... Well, I guess if he starts going to Navy right now and maybe cuts out a lot of the Aurora production, maybe he could, like all these factories at the back with the highest travel time, maybe pause those and try and make Navy and try and get back into the bottom Navy proper. Top Navy. Once again, Ornd pushes out with mostly Destros. He seems to have lost a lot of cruisers. He has... Oh no, he has a lot of cruisers at the back. Although they just came out of these T2 factories. And... all the flak is at this rally point. Way back in the middle of the base. And the torpedoes from Yudi. He can just permanently torpedo anyone, it seems. Both sides, but especially north. The Soul Ripper is almost complete. Fully. Oh, we're at -4 now. Holy shit. Hopefully this game ends sooner rather than later. Another nuke is launched by Miser, and it's going for the T3 Naval HQ of Clark. Clark has 18,000 mass reclaimed. He did no reclaiming at the front, which is quite sad. And he has 5 battleships. His opponent has no navy. His opponent has no navy. His opponent has hover, and he has 5 summits. And that's... well, what can you say? And actually, here we can see how much damage is done by those ASF. 20,000 damage done to the Soul Ripper, basically for free. And maybe the Soul Ripper is the counter to the hover. Maybe that's why it's being constructed. We have a lot of T1 factories just got Control K. They're going to be recycled. And Navy. Here we go. Strogo believes he can get back into Navy now. No matter what, he has 5 battleships to kill and overcome. That's going to be difficult. Here comes the nuke. There is only the HQ here, so... well, that's just how it is. There's no other build power in this location, so... is it a good nuke? It's not the best nuke, but most things are protected. Holy crap. These did finish eventually, but he's only building storage around this one now. For so long, Clark had no idea what was really looking at. He had no idea what was going on in his island. Wasn't paying attention to it. The hover continues to push out. If he can do real damage to the battleships with the hover, but it looks like he doesn't have any T2 hover here now. The battle cruisers are coming. We need a new HQ. Looks like this is the one. Orange and purple, truly equal rating players. It's like they throw paper on each other the whole game. I don't really... maybe that's a German idiom that doesn't really translate to English too well. But I think I see the meaning. Oh, the game is moving slowly now, but here comes the Soul Ripper. Probably the island would have been a better nuke, maybe. Middle. The SMD was not finished in middle, so that was a potential nuke. There are nukes here. We are, but you are 2200 against 1300 and I got nuked. Well. He is 2200 against 1300. How to mute. Yeah, I don't think Yudi can't really stop Miser from nuking Purple Djinn, if we're honest. But Yudi can definitely save Purple Djinn on many occasions. Here comes more torpedo bombers, ASF from Orand. Oh boy, we're so slow. Can somebody please come in and kill the goddamn Aurora? We're almost at 5,000 units now. 5,000. Still 500 Aurora. And now we have, yes, straight to T3 Navy. Battleships on the way. Need more naval factories though. So much mass. He's up to 190,000 mass now. Orand is retreating. And he is told not to run. Foley says push. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 battleships here. We have some destroyers. Many cruisers. Purple Djinn has 3 battleships, a battle cruiser, not much else. Couple of shield boats. And still 20,000. I think we just have permanently 20,000 mass in the bank for Purple Djinn. Which is sad to see. Just need more production. Upgrade. Do not have T1 factories. Always have support factories which are T2 or T3 at this stage. T1 factories are just not that good. It takes too long to build anything. The Soul Ripper is here to counter the Aurora. T4 versus T1. And hopefully he can save my sim speed to some degree. Minus fucking 4. Oh god. Oh, this is just so juicy here. All of this would be great to kill. And it looks like Clark actually has some battle cruisers now that aren't dying to arties. That was really the problem. He was trying to kill the hover, but he was just all the time in the range of these arties, and the arties just took out the battle cruisers every time, as you would expect, because they're quite good at that. And we have a pause. Robo asking for a stream. Miser needs mass. Why does he need mass? Oh, he's trying to make a second nuke. That's just really going to slow down his other nuke from loading. He does have full T3 eco. Jesus, Strogo has so many T2 pigeons. And I don't know why. Don't know why he... 20... Excuse me. 29 T2 pigeons. Alright. He's now making SCUs. He has run out of reclaim, I think, more or less. He's not gathering it at the same rate anyway. And trying to make T3 Navy and all of this hover is going to slow him down. Pause the Aurora production. Stop the Aurora production. Right now, it's... I wonder how much it's draining, actually. It's like -4 on every factory, and he has... Wow. They're not all idle. I think they're all producing. Okay, now he's recycling. He has like 50 factories, so that's 50 by -4, 200 mass per tick on Aurora. I would definitely stop making them now that he actually has some navy. The Aurora are dog shit. They're a temporary solution to a problem, and now that he has naval production, he needs to end it. But the Soul Ripper is going to kill his build power, though. It's going to kill his naval build power. The flaks are doing some damage, but Don't think they're going to be sufficient. Yudi says, oh. Oh! Purple. Yudi said to Purple, give me your whole base and we'll win. And Purple did it. Purple Jin gave the whole base. Commitment to victory here in the top ocean. And now that's a lot better for Yudi. Now we'll see some well, oh, it looks actually very bad at this point. The battle cruiser goes down. We have 6 battleships and they're already basically in range of the 3 battleships that Yudi has. Yudi has no, well, he only has a few bulwarks. And it's 6 battleships versus, oh, another bulwark goes down. It's not been switched on. And, oh, this might not be salvageable at this point. This battleship is going to die rapidly. I don't know what we need. I mean, a lot of shields and maybe... Well, there's not many options. We just need a whole shit ton of torps, I think, to kill the battleships. And then we need battle cruisers as well to mix in there. But this looks tough. Purple Jin takes her leave, going off somewhere else. Probably going to start building mass fabs or something and making some eco. Has RAS and T3 ACU, so can go off and make eco somewhere. And yeah. RIP, the battleship. Turn on the bulwark. Orange will fail north again, says Foley. Likes making predictions. But will this one come true? It could. I'm not sure though. Now, oh, the Aurora. Well, you can see once that huge mass stall came in. Now we're still at a huge mass stall. All the production stops. You can see there's no units coming out. Even though the factories have not been paused. So you just have Aurora building extremely slowly. And, well, even especially the T2 land building slowly as well. And so we're running out of hover. Where is the Soul Ripper? I missed where it went. Did it die? Did I miss the Soul Ripper dying? I did. Fuck. God damn it. The game is moving so slowly and I still miss shit. Amazing stuff. Epic pro level caster. Well, I guess it was flax and some... Probably a lot of flak damage, honestly. But this T3 production went down. The HQ is now going to be taken out. And there's a lot of battle cruisers. I think it may be that Clark is going to finally overcome the hover. Now there is a risk that he again moves into range of all these T2RTs and loses all his navy. That is a risk. He still has an on-storage T3 mechs on his island. Oh, he has a nuke though. Not bad. Everyone gets one. What is the plan? Oh, a YOLO. The YOLO is planned for Yudi. Oh no, how long is this gonna go? If he's really making a YOLO, is this going to go a lot longer? Why has it crawled to -4? Because my PC is just not good enough. Well, it looks like... Let's take a look at the top ocean. Still have 3 battleships, and the second battleship for Yudi goes down. He has 1 left. His shield boats are down. His production is dying to all these destroyers. The destroyers can come in, kill this production as well. It's completely undefended. There's only a single battleship now and a battle cruiser. If only you did it 30 minutes ago, well, that would be... And the game would be long long since over, no doubt. ML now, Foley says. Front. Oh, where? Oh, here it is. Almost finished. To protect against the T2 land from Strogo as he retakes his forward mexes. He has a lot of mass actually he can still take. Like, look at all of this. All this TMD is nice. T2 land. Oh. Insane amounts of dead T2 land here. Did it die to Aurora? Is that how they went down? They died to Aurora? Well, they certainly killed a lot of Aurora there. And the HQ is down in the South Ocean. Another battlecruiser is going to die. And there's one battleship left. Good night. There goes that battlecruiser. Let's just see what kind of damage we have. 7,000 mass killed. 4,700 mass killed. 3,500. 4,000. 3,000. 7,000. Oh. MVP T2RTs on the bottom. With the meat shield Auroras in front to defend them. But finally, just a lot of battlecruisers cuts through the mess. Yet more torpedoes come in trying to take out the destroyers. Another T3 support factory goes down. The battleship is dead. And there is only a single boat defending the North Ocean, and it's doomed. No amount of torps is going to save this at this point. The game has stopped. Wow. What was that? The game literally just stopped. Oh, Strogo has a teleport SACU. Is saying he will kill both UD's SMDs with tele-SCU. Now what this SACU is going to do is, while it has teleport, it's going to teleport right next to the SMD and simply shoot it with the gun that it has by default. It doesn't have any gun upgrade or anything, or laser or anything fancy. Oh wait, does it in fact have a gun upgrade? It has... Oh, it has an area of effect. Yes. So it does have a gun upgrade. And he's going to teleport next to the SMDs. Kill them. Here's an SMD. Here's an SMD. Here's an SMD. You can see this here is teleport protection. To take out units that teleport next to the most valuable structures and important structures. Yelona is on the way. It's beginning. Doesn't have any protection right now. A T2 shield goes up. There's no teleport protection though at the minute. No T2 PDs or T1. North Ocean is finally won. Shortly after it's given to UD. But that's not UD's. It's not really the cause of it, of course. It's just was inevitable at the point where UD was given control over that base. Foley now still instructing Orand to stop making too much navy. You have won. It's true. It's a very important point that you don't continue spamming destroyers and battleships. In this scenario, you can see it's won. He doesn't actually need any more navy to actually win and control the navy. The production is dead. No more battleships are required. But he still has... See, all these extra battleships are basically not a good investment at all. Will be much better to have. Torrents. Yes, we got missile ships coming. Nuke subs will also be good. We have a rogue T3 mechs on storage. It is Well, reminiscent of Clark on the other side, and Clark is still... He still has not done any damage to the either base here. Strogo has very well... Look at all the shields everywhere. What was needed here was basically a nuke sub. A very, very, very long time ago, we needed a nuke sub from Clark. Instead of all the battleships, could have made a battleship, yeah, to kill this base maybe, but all he needs to do is get to T3 Navy, make a nuke sub as one of his first units, maybe even the first unit, and use that, and then you can basically chill, just stay back out of range, don't waste units, don't attack, let Strogo build up his defenses, and then you just nuke him. Oh, the range, absurd. What a beautiful shot from way back, over all the shields, arcing and landing directly on the exact thing he wanted to kill, which was unshielded. And there is surely no more SMD here. That must have been the only one. There is no SMD. I have the actual defensive rings on, you can see here. And we're at -3. We're coming back, boys. There is an SMD here which Foley desperately wants killed. Kill SMD, Orand. Go and kill the SMD. One battleship here for poor SMD. More pings coming soon to a Setons near you. Will he finally break beach? It's possible. That will go a long way to doing it. And who? Yes, well, Orand has broken beach. He has done it, and you can see Orand kills and immediately starts doing damage. Strogo's defense was mighty, but I think really Clark in the future will realize that a nuke is a far better way to deal with this than trying to actually fight all that spam and T2RT. You can just chill. You kill the naval production early on, achieve naval dominance, chill, you can make it eco and make a nuke sub. And then if they really are, well, you make many cruisers as well, so you can actually do damage outside, out of range, and do damage to middle, and you can use the cruisers at any time to kill naval production if your opponent tries to get back into navy. And then eventually you just nuke them with that nuke sub. And the SACUs are here. The SMDs are dying. This SMD is undefended. This one is being repaired. The SACU is almost killing it. And with the death explosion, it finishes it. It was just under 1k HP. That's 2 dead SMDs. This SMD is still alive though. And here we go. The battleships now have to take out the SMD, but they're struggling with the terrain. The arc is not so impressive for the AN battleship, and this ridge is a significant problem for them. What he needs to do is come to here so that he can shoot over the much smaller terrain there that will be in the way. Oh, shots are landing. Shots are getting towards it, getting over the ridge. You can see this one is capable of shooting. More shields going up very quickly. But most of the battleships are in the complete wrong place. This single battleship is in the correct location. The rest they're going in the wrong direction. Over here there is still a ridge. You can see there's no way to shoot over that with Aeon battleships. That one SMD you don't kill is the last thing for victory. That's very true. The SMDs are being rebuilt and assisted to try and get some get some nuke defense. Focus all your brain on this task. There's still just a single battleship capable of shooting at the SMD now, and they're all moving in the wrong direction. He needs to be right. Wait, let me see the pings. All ship here, all BS here, move here. Don't know why all shots are blocked by hills. He's now typing in the chat instead of, well, I guess at this point the pings are really this this is a hill. Oh, I need to switch to cartographic mode or something to get the point across. Keep moving the ships with my brain back and forth, all with my brain. Moving back and forth is not what's needed. We need to move here. This ship is still firing. Whoever is in control of this ship, the admiral, this guy knows what's up. He is actually shooting at the shields, but one battleship cannot get through the shields. And the SMD is still alive. Wait, how many are loaded in this? There may be 2 in it. There are 2 in it. And there's only 1 nuke loaded, so he cannot get past that nuke defense. And the YOLO is almost completed. Now, of course, all of the focus is on the SMD. He has to load these SMDs. Oh, I tried to switch to UD and we've now... Are we... Please don't break. Please. Why is the game freezing? Okay, there we go. Jesus. So this one is not too valuable because you can shoot here, shoot a nuke here and kill the YOLO. So this has to be the focus, and he has all of his build power here, all this T3 build power trying to get the SMD out. But if this one goes down, it doesn't matter. Foley now telling him to give the ships to Strogo. That would be a very quick fix. Now we have Torrents finally shooting. There are some Torrents too far back to shoot, but this one is firing. Some of the battleships may be in range now, but still, they're just milling around, shooting into the cliff. Now I don't think any of them are capable of shooting past the cliff. Maybe this one, but maybe it's out of range. Oh my god. Oh, Orand. Give them to Strogo. He doesn't want to give the battleships away. No, just now. These ships can now hit, surely. Just target 2 or 3 battleships will probably be enough. Oh, the shields! The shields have gone down. UD stalls power. At a terrible moment, the SMD is dying. 1000 HP, 200 HP, and the shields come back online. And a nuke has just been launched. Oh, it's Clark's nuke. Oh, could you imagine if he nuked this? But he hasn't. He hasn't targeted that. What is he targeting? He targets middle. And is there an SMD there? Oh, he may have killed the SMD actually. But oh my god, could you imagine? He could nuke all of the battleships. And that would keep the SMD alive. No. But he's not doing that. That would be truly the greatest the greatest nuke if he had nuked right here. Because if they retreat, then they fall back, and SMD is going to get loaded. The YOLO is going to finish. Oh, no. The greatest meme denied. Clark, why? Damn. The SMD's still alive. Yudi should send the... He could send the spider in, but it's too late. Maybe he could have sent the spider in and started attacking the battleships, but it would very quickly die. The SMD goes down and Yudi calls GG. The nuke is going to land on his YOLO before it can be finished, or before his SMD can load. And Miser has not launched the nuke. Foley saying now, launch the nuke. Launch, launch, launch. There we go. Oh, I may have been tracking too late. If you track things like this, they will follow the missile as it launches. I think I might have been too late for that though. The very prolonged Aeon nuke launch sequence. Oh no, here we go. Whoa. That's a strange way to track. There we go. I don't think we're gonna wait for this to land. This is the end. God damn it, it's moved slowly at -3. And it's gonna fly over the nuke that has just landed on the middle. Oh, imagine if the nuke from Clark killed those battleships. Even all it needed to do was buy time for SMDs to load. He would in the end lose the SMD to the torrents, and Yudi has control K his base. And that's it. Yudi bows out of the game with, "Oh, y'all fucking suck." Well, it was a valiant attempt. By Yudi. And also, well, very well played by the bottom team. Strogo. Foley, the general, behind his troops, pinging his orders. And they weren't always followed. Well, eventually they were followed, but generally it took a while. And this whole cast took a while. Holy shit, -4. If you're wondering why I don't cast Setons, here is the answer. I need a bit of a better CPU, I think. GG. Well played. Funny game. Not even an attempt from a game ender at the bottom team. They were all in. If they don't kill this YOLO very soon, if they don't kill it before it's built, I mean, what hope do they have? The Navy can be nuked. Oren's base can be nuked. He has some defense, nuke defense. Actually, he has a decent amount of SMDs loaded, but air probably. Wow, he has a full SMD. I don't think I've ever seen a fully loaded SMD. Honestly, never seen a fully loaded SMD. I guess they could hold out for a while, but mid would die quickly. It would be a limited amount of time. They really had to kill that YOLO. And they did it in the end. Man, actually, strats come in from Miser to end the game. GG. Well played. And hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks again for the 1K subs. You're all great. And I'll see you in the next cast.